This video is sponsored by Fiverr.
Look at me, I'm storage. I mean, if you can fit a body in here, I feel like that's a good sign. DIY friends, welcome back to my channel. It has been a minute. I was on a little break. I was traveling. I was a bit sick, but I am back to share another episode of Studio Made, a series all about my journey to create my dream maker studio, creative studio, everything DIY art studio. So today we are starting in this corner. I've had this dream storage solution for this corner, and I think I've touched on it, like the idea, a few times in the past, but today we are finally going to build it, and I'm calling it the magical storage cabinet, and you're about to find out why. So if you like storage, you like organization and unique custom builds, then stick around because this video is for you. So grab those hot cold combos, snuggle in, and let's get going. Editor, roll the tape. Boop. So this corner, I am probably the most confident about in terms of what I want to do with it. Like, I already know that I want to build in this like crazy pull-out closet system. I just kind of need to plan it and figure out how that's going to work, but I already know that this is going to be like a custom build-in corner. All right, friends, welcome to my mini makeshift office. I wanted to go through my plan, how I plan to do this custom build and how I thought it through. I kind of want to show you what my original sketch was for this space. So this is how I saw what this was. Ooh, hello pen. This is very simple drawing. I literally just put some lines on a wall and drew kind of what I hoped it to look like. Just simply bunch of doors. I was hoping I could do 6. It wouldn't go all the way to the top of the wall, which I kind of liked. I didn't want to take up this entire corner because the door is right there. So I didn't want this like wall to hit you right when you walked in. So that was the original sketch. And don't get me wrong, this sketch is great, but it lacks the ability to see any flaws in my design. And I knew I wanted to really think this through before I started the actual build because, first of all, materials are not cheap right now, so I wanted as little room for error as possible. I am also dealing with a sloped wall, which brings another layer of challenge and error. So to avoid as many errors as possible, I decided to actually build this in a digital form first. So doing this allowed me to see as close to IRL as I could, test the flaws in my measurements, but this is also going to allow me to play around with design ideas like color and look. So when I need something whipped up professionally and correctly, I like to hire someone else, which is why I turn to Fiverr in these moments. Now, for anyone who is unaware, Fiverr is a website that connects you to freelancers that offers like a wide variety of different digital services that will help you get things done. You know, like website development, video editing, social media marketing. There's AI services, architecture and interior design, and like honestly, the list goes on. So it's pretty awesome if you're a business looking to expand in a certain area, but you feel you might not have the skills to do so. I've had really positive experiences behind the scenes, and I have my go-to person through Fiverr that I actually use on a regular basis. His name is Anthony. Oh my God, he's so kind. He's so knowledgeable in SketchUp, and I like Anthony because he actually builds things himself. So sometimes we've talked about better ways to build something just based on ideas that I have provided him. So it's really nice. We get to brainstorm, and to that, he did find discrepancies in this build. The dimensions I thought that the door build should be was completely wrong. It was too short, so it left a large gap at the top. As you can see, Anthony is showing me this, but I also don't want to cut the doors on an angle so that they sit flush. So we actually opted to change the plan and give it the doors like a 3/4 inch gap at the top. And that way it matches the 3/4 inch side pieces that I'm going to build. So it was a really great brainstorm, and I think we made it better. And for the record, you do not need to be giving your freelancers super snazzy drawings. This is literally what I gave Anthony. Like, these are terrible sketches of my idea. And through that, he was able to make these sketches. I mean, I also shared links to the products I was going to use, like for the handles and the caster wheels. And I also passed along 3 different door ideas and colors to play with. And I did this because I wasn't really sure what design I wanted for the doors or what color would look best. So it was kind of fun to see these ideas come to life in front of me. Actually, you guys should tell me which design and color you like the best. Now, as you guys know, for colors, I really wanted to go bold in here. I've shared with you guys my mood board for this space, and I've always said, you know, I really wanted the walls to be white, and then all the furniture pieces that I bring into this space, I wanted it to be colorful and fun and just exude creativity in the best way possible. So I really wanted to bring some bold colors to this cabinet and just make it a little bit of a pop. The first color was called Exquisite Emerald, and this is what it looks like on an arch design, a shaker style design with fluted detail, a 3-window shaker style, a shiplap style, and just a simple frame. The second color was Beacon Blue, again on our 5 options. And then on the third, I went with a color called Lavender Honor. As we know, I am a girl who used to love having my hair the color lavender, and I just wanted to like see if maybe we could bring that color back in some fun way. And I actually thought I was going to like the arches the best, but after seeing the designs the way they are and how they look in that corner, oh my God, I'm so glad I did this, because I think a more simple design actually works better for this. And also, you know, yes, arches are very hot right now, but like down the line, am I gonna love arches? I don't really want this to be something that I change. So I think going with something a little bit more simple is the right way to go. And I was kind of opting towards either just like the very simple frame on the outside, or I really like the 2-frame shaker style. And honestly, why I like talking about this process and my process through this is because I get emails all the time asking for advice on solutions to their spaces, and like they're not necessarily design advice, it's more what do you think would work. And this is where I would encourage hiring someone to help you design out some different ideas that you're playing with, because I think a lot of the time you kind of know what might work, you just don't know if that idea is gonna look good. Well, then get it designed. It's totally worth it. And if you're thinking, I don't know how to type out my idea, I don't know how to describe it, and I don't know how to like tell somebody what I'm looking for. Some Fiverr freelancers offer one-on-one consultation videos, so you can actually have like a face-to-face chat with your freelancer and chat through your ideas and solutions, and you guys can brainstorm. It could also give you a sense of your freelancer and if you want to hire this person to do the job. I mean, you can also look at the user reviews. All freelancers have like a star rating out of 5 based on previous projects that they've delivered, and plus usually they share like a portfolio of work that they've done in the past that can kind of help you gauge if you want to hire this person, if they're the right person for you. So to all that, if anyone is interested in hiring a freelancer to help them with their latest project, whether that's personal, DIY related, or business, use the link you see on screen right now. That's also linked in my description box to check out the services available to you. Use the code Danie24 and you'll get 10% off your first order. All right, so this is the idea I have in my drawings right now, which are great, a great guide, because now I know exactly which cuts I need to make. So I'm gonna go get all my materials and then we'll get to work. Yeehaw! All right, DIY friends, we are in the workshop. What I wanna focus on first, I'm gonna put you down, is building the side piece. So we basically need to make a shell. And in the original plans that I had made with Anthony, I'm gonna show you this terrible drawing here, just so we can see it. In the original plans, we had a piece here, and we also had a piece here. But I realized afterwards that we don't really need this back piece because you're never gonna see it. The only reason why I wanted it there was because I needed like a little 3/4 inch spacer on the side, and we can solve that with like, you know, a piece this big. So I'm actually gonna save on material and only be making this exterior wall here. And I'll show you on screen here is another drawing of how I'm going to install this. So I'm gonna cut out the piece and then I'm gonna add little bars that are gonna sit on the inside, and that's what's gonna get installed into the ceiling, into the floor, and into the back wall so that this wall is nice and sturdy. And then what's nice is that Anthony made my drawings. He was able to take all the measurements I gave him and he made me a little cut plan. So this is great. I can follow this for my first pieces. We have a lot of plywood. I'm not gonna lie. I had to buy 11 sheets of this. Now I know some people are gonna ask, why would you build this out of plywood and maybe not MDF? And the reason for that is because I'm actually going to have a lot of leftover wood from this project that I want to incorporate into another project coming up that I needed wood for. So I opted to go for wood because I need those leftover pieces. It's actually saving me on cost. So we're kind of sharing the material, if that makes sense. So I just opted to go for a bunch of wood. It's solid and easy to work with too. And yeah, so that's my reasoning for that. But I'm gonna start building the side first, cut that, make sure it works and it fits and it's installed. And then I'm gonna double check measurements for the doors once that's done. And yeah, Bob's your uncle. So I'm gonna get a plywood sheet up on this table. We're gonna use my plunge saw and we're gonna get cutting. Let's go do it! Woohoo! Camera high five! Psh.
Booze it! Booze it! Booze it! Booze it!
The pieces are in. We're ready to go. We just need to bring this upstairs and dry fit it. And I gotta admit, I'm feeling nervous, but it's gonna be great. It's gonna be great. It's totally gonna fit. It's totally gonna fit. All right, let's bring it upstairs. Wasn't easy to carry this thing up the stairs, but it was okay. Okay, I haven't seen if this fits yet, so, oh my gosh, please fit. All right, here we go. Oh. Okay. Oh, there's like a little tiny gap here, but it fits flush here. Okay, I mean, that's not bad. We have a wall. Thank you, DIY gods. Thank you. I'm so happy. Oh my God. Okay. All right, I'm gonna get a triangle and then let's screw this piece in. Woohoo! Okay, good. I can't believe this is working. Oh, she ain't going nowhere. We are locked and loaded. Pew, pew, pew. Okay, we need to scoot to this corner because we need to do the next part. So for this side, I decided that I wasn't gonna make a wall. It just didn't seem to make sense. So all I need to do is just measure what that length is and then just create like a little bar that's gonna sit onto the wall. And I don't even need to screw it in. I could literally just brad nail it because it's just a dummy piece. Like it's just purely aesthetic because I will have a piece of 3/4 sticking out on the side that I want to mimic that side. So this is purely just for aesthetics. So I think we just go and cut a piece, match that, and then after we're done with this piece, we're gonna create a bar that runs across the top. And this is purely, it's gonna actually run this way, like flat, because the door is going to hit this, and this piece here is gonna be what the door hits. So it has kind of like a stopping point.
I sense that you're slightly confused right now.
But first things first, let's get this piece cut, and then we can move on to cutting the top piece, which is a little bit more tricky because we got an angle involved. And angles just, they suck. So good news, I found this scrap piece that's 3/4 inch, so it's perfect. I'm just gonna cut this piece up, and I think this is gonna be good to use. So we'll mark this. Ta-da! And now we just need to cut the top at the angle of the wall so that it lies flush into the angle, and I need to go figure out what that angle is. So I actually have a handy contraption that's gonna help me find that angle. And that angle is also gonna dictate what I cut the long length piece, the top piece for. So tough part's not over. This lovely little contraption helps me find the angle of a wall, which is pretty cool. So we're gonna just do this. I think I'm gonna need a laser level. I think that's the only way to do this properly. Are you out of batteries? Good. I'm out of batteries. I will be right back. All right, that was super annoying. Yeah, 63. All right, 63 is our angle. Let's go cut a 63-degree angle, and then we will figure out this afterwards. Goodness gracious. $158. I may have to cut this in 2 pieces. It might be the only way that this makes sense. I didn't really think this through, but I'm thinking that might make the most sense. All right. Okay, she ain't perfect, but she ain't bad either. I mean, it's not going anywhere, which is kind of the important part, and it's just enough to stop the door. I'm not mad about it. I don't love it, but I'm not mad about it. I'm gonna leave it here for today, and then tomorrow we start building 12 boxes, which are gonna make up 6 carts, 2 levels per cart, if that makes sense. So, I'm going away. I'm gonna go sit down now. I'll see you tomorrow, friends. Good morning, friends. Well, it didn't take long to make this space messy again. But today we are going to build the carts and hopefully the doors. I am not overthinking the design for this box. You know, like a part of me sometimes feels like, ooh, I need to get fancy and use all this cool joinery. But I'm like, this is literally going to be hidden inside a storage unit. Like, we do not need to get fancy. It just needs to function. So what that means is that I am just gluing and screwing this situation. But what I'm going to do is create a base, do the sides, and we're just going to screw right up from the bottom. Okay, and then let's talk about how we're going to attach these boxes together. I decided to go with slotted metal. So it has like little holes. Actually, I can show you. It's right here. It's got little holes in it. I kept thinking, if I use 3/4 inch wood, it's going to take up a lot of space, a lot of profile, and I only have so much space up in my little box. So I thought if I go with a metal, it's going to hold weight really well. It's going to hold up over time. And I just think that it's a great material that's not wood. So is it going to look amazing? Honestly, probably not, but I'm gonna focus a lot of my design energy on how the doors look, because that's what's gonna be outward facing. You know what I mean? We don't need to really focus on how this box looks. But right now, what I need to do is get all these plywood sheets up onto the table and just start cutting pieces. A lot of pieces. I have a feeling this is gonna be a doozy of a montage. So let's go cut some wood.
Not gonna lie, this might be the most cuts I have ever made for one project. I had 6 doors to cut, 24 box fronts, 24 box sides, and 12 box bottoms, which did require a lot of planning to ensure I could get all my cuts from the 11 sheets that I bought. Now you think that that would have meant that I had a plan and nothing would go wrong, but when you're in the trenches, things just go wrong. And I made a mistake and cut my door from the wrong sheet, which meant I only had enough material to now cut 11 box bottoms instead of 12.
No!
Yeah, that mistake cost me $40, and I was not happy about it, but I did power on.
I just finished all the cuts. I started at 9 and it is now 2 p.m. That took me such a long time. And I am so mad that I screwed up my cut list because I had it all mapped out on paper. I was like ready to go, and then I realized that I'd cut the wrong piece. Anyways, that was so many cuts. We have 6 doors, 12, I don't know, what are we calling them? Box bottoms. And then all of the sides that we have, which are our boxes here. Long pieces, short pieces. So, having a look at our little outline here, this is what it's gonna look like. This is actually, all the measurements on here are wrong. Well, some of them are. So, like I mentioned, each cart has a top and a bottom, and they're being connected by the steel piece. Each box is going to have the base that sits underneath, and we're gonna screw up into the side pieces. And then on here I marked where an X is, and that's where it's gonna, like the door is gonna connect to the cart. So we'll have 2 pieces here, we'll have 2 pieces here that we can fit through the slotted metal, and then we'll have 2 pieces in the bottom cart. So I can drill those holes ahead of time because we're gonna need to drill through into the door. So as much as I like to preach, think outside the box, this time we're thinking inside the box because we're building a lot of them. I think that worked. Big carts? Why did I do this to myself? Contaminate this idea. Okay, friends. So I just had a whole morning. I did an intro. I explained to cut some metal. Then I explained that I needed to bring all these boxes upstairs. Then brought all these boxes upstairs. Died on the floor for a little bit. Explained that I'm a strong, independent woman, but that still sucks. And then I said I was gonna go catch my breath, and then I was really sweaty and then really gross and I wanted to die. And then I realized my audio wasn't rolling all morning. So now we're here. And I'm still sweaty, gross, need some water. But I just thought I would replay that situation for you, just so you know how I got here. I'm gonna go get that water now. All right. Okay, I am changed. I just decided no long sleeve shirt today. Too much. Let's start making these carts. So we got 1 cart, 2 cart. Now each one of these metal frames was 28 inches. Oh, this feels good already. Feels good already. Oh, this makes it so easy to attach. Okay, I need a measuring tape. We need to be 28 inches. Oh, we are 28 inches, baby. Sorry, I hated who I became there. Okay, now we just need to screw this side in. So I have washers and I have dome head screws. Well, I said I want a dent in my floor, so. Wow! This has been some sweaty business, friends. Locked and loaded, we flip and repeat. It's your permission, blah, blah, blah. Let's attempt to flip this. Ooh, maybe I'll do it this way first and then flip. Come with me and you'll see we're in a world of pure imagination. Wow, this thing feels very sturdy. Oh, wasn't that sound so good? Sounded like I'm pulling out a sword. Whoosh. Woo! All right, now we have tray. I want to add the wheels. These are the wheels I got. Just nothing, they can't pivot. They can only go forward and backwards. That's it. Need to be at least 2 inches in. So we will do it at 2.5. And then we will bring this in 2 inches. Now I need to really make sure I put these on straight. Look at us doing things. Okay, all wheels are turning. It feels pretty freaking sturdy, guys. Oh, that's amazing. Okay, the only thing I didn't account for was the piece, the 3/4 inch piece in the back. I'm gonna have to like cut out a piece so that this can actually lay flush. But all things said, we did it, we made a cart. Okay, 1 cart down, 5 more to go.
Let's chat about attaching the doors. My original plan was just to attach the doors to the cart frame, but that didn't account for the dome head screws, nor my need to adjust each door ever so slightly to ensure that they were square, because my floor wasn't perfectly straight. So I decided to add a 3/4 inch shim between the cart and the door, which allowed me to make some micro adjustments far easier. But honestly, I had the material, it wasn't a biggie, it was just another thing we had to do. And I didn't want to do it, but I did it anyways, because that's what we do.
Good day, friends. It is a new day. I was so tired yesterday. Once I finished this out, I was like, I just can't. But like, check this out. We got doors, we got carts, and it's working. And the good news is, so yesterday I actually was able to get that back piece out by simply just taking out the screws, and then I like pried it out. So I didn't actually have to like remove everything. So she's gone, but the wall is still sturdy. So that's good news. Problem solved. Now, because I added 3/4 inch pieces that let the doors sit out, what I need to do is add a 3/4 piece on this top bar here so that the doors actually sit properly. And I need to cut 2 skinny pieces that's gonna sit here and on the far side. And then we're gonna start mapping out how, like, the pieces that are gonna sit on top of the doors to kind of give it a nicer look, and we'll get the handles on. And then once we have all that handled, we can officially start painting, which I'm excited about. I'm already sweating. progress has been made. With adding the side pieces, definitely made a difference. It really made it look more finished. I am really happy with that. So all the doors are gonna get a 1/4 inch MDF, and it's just gonna sit like this. I'm gonna basically create like a shaker style is kind of what I was thinking in my head. So I think I'm just gonna start cutting pieces and then work one door at a time and just adjust it accordingly. I don't think it's gonna look so bad. Okay, so let's go downstairs and let's go cut some MDF. Good morning, friends. So today is probably the most exciting day of all the days. Well, every day is exciting, but this is the most exciting because today we get to add color and I'm so excited about it. I was very productive this morning. I got all the sanding done. It looks good. Took me a really long time. I wanted to make sure I got every little nook and cranny because I didn't want to have to go back afterwards, but I feel good. Now let's talk about painting because I'm using MDF, because I'm painting on wood. Everything kind of is very absorbent, so I decided I'm gonna do a primer first, which I know it sucks to do a primer because you just wanna like get to the paint, but I think because I'm doing a very vibrant color, by priming first, not only am I really helping that first coat of paint come through really well, but if I go white and then the color, it's just gonna come through so much better. And as the beauty industry always says, it is a crime not to prime. I think that translates into the DIY space as well. Let's go prime, shall we? Okay, we are moving on to the main event. So at the beginning of this video, I showed you 3 colors and my gut was leaning towards emerald green and my heart stayed with the green. So here we are, friends. How much of a pop is that going to be up here? You're just gonna like be hit in the face with green and I love it. Oh, this is gonna be exquisite, which is why they call it exquisite emerald. Now, this is a cabinet paint in satin, so it is gonna have a little bit of a sheen, but normally it's a little bit more durable. It's meant to be cleanable. It's meant to take a little bit more wear and tear, which is kind of what we need in this situation. So hopefully this is all gonna go fine, hopefully. Okay, here we go. Love it. Oh my gosh, I love it.
You know, this is probably the most bold I've been with color in a really long time, and I have to say it feels so refreshing. And actually, this isn't the first time I've used a green as bold as this. Not sure if anyone remembers the mural wall I painted at my back door. I feel like these greens were quite similar, so maybe this is just a color I've always been connected to. But regardless, I am just in love with it. And adding color and seeing it in this space, it just kind of brought a whole new level of creative energy to the studio. Something shifted as soon as that color came forward, and it is just quite remarkable what the power of color can do to a space. Now, this did need 2 coats sadly, which wasn't fun, but I had my audiobook with me and we just meditated on the process for the rest of the day.
I have never been so obsessed with anything I've ever made. I love this so much. I'm not even gonna show you guys what this looks like. I'm gonna put the handles on and then we're gonna start putting everything in and then do a big reveal. Are you ready to finally see the finished cabinet in its entirety, in its full use? Let's just roll to the beauties. Unit as much as I am. I can't even comprehend that it's done. Like, this is exactly what I wanted this studio to be, just full of color. The storage brings me a lot of joy too, don't get me wrong. But the color is just everything I wanted this to be and more. And don't get me wrong, friends, this isn't perfect. I mean, there's some like weird gaps on this at the bottom versus the top, and this door for some reason has decided that it's gonna like jut out a little bit, and I don't know why. So I'm hoping that maybe over time that'll just fix itself, or I'll get annoyed enough and have to fix it. But the fact that I was able to do all of this by myself is just, it blows my mind, and I'm so proud of myself for accomplishing this. Having Anthony from Fiverr help me envision the whole thing, and like seeing that visual come to life here, like it just blows my mind. I'm so happy. I don't think I could have done it without Anthony, so big thank you to him. And speaking of that, thank you to Fiverr for sponsoring this video. Be sure to visit fiverr.co/DIY Danie and check out the services available to you, and make sure you use the code Danie24 to get 10% off your first service. And you know, I keep thinking about what it would have cost me to try to hack something already out there. Like if I had taken IKEA pieces and then tried to hack it to work in this scenario, or if I had hired somebody to build some kind of custom piece for me, it would have been thousands of dollars. Whereas this, I want to say it was about $1,200. I'm gonna put the final tally on screen because I think that's very important for people to understand of like, how much did this actually cost me to make? But I think I saved a fortune by making this myself and doing it myself, and I couldn't be more proud of it. I couldn't be more proud of me. I couldn't be more proud of this space and excited for things to come. And speaking of things to come, actually, if we just pivot just a little. As you can see, we have an empty doorway, and we do have a beautiful antique door that has been waiting to go into that entryway, which also has the most beautiful emerald green diamond-shaped stained glass pieces that are built into it, which maybe that's why I went with green, to complement each other. I cannot wait, and I hope you guys are excited too. So if you're proud of me and you're excited for what's to come, make sure to give this video a big thumbs up. Make sure to subscribe if you're not already, because we got so much more creative projects coming your way. And a big shout out to my Patreon family. Thank you for your continued support behind the scenes and your ideas and just your love. If you are looking for a place to support you through your DIY projects, give you encouragement, then my Patreon is definitely the place for you. Come check it out and come hang out with us. But with that said, my friends, as always, stay positive, stay creative, and keep on DIYing. Bye-bye.